Hello, welcome again to Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are here to investigate, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna take out my glasses because I can see my own screen. So, heck that. My fake glasses. Oh, anyway, we made it back to One Piece just as usual. Just is a strong word. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the street of London. We were nearly flattened several times. What? Oh, no, I didn't mean that. What did you mean? What did you mean? Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruto. It really was. I was in a way of you. Oh, thank you? But now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Sure, why not? Is everything alright? I suppose I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England working as a lawyer in the old ballet, no less. The old ballet! What the old ballet makes us so better? The truth is, I shouldn't be me, should I? Should it? It shouldn't be me standing in my shoes. In his shoes, maybe. Should be Kazuma. Why Kazuma? It was Kazuma's wish that you follow him in Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had a chance to ask him exactly why, but he's clearly had a plan. I want to be here today if it wasn't for him. Well, yeah, I guess. You are still away. And no doubt that Kazuma-san will have exactly the same if we were here with us. We'll say the same. What? There you go. Stomp on something. Thanks, Susanna. Thank you. Kazuma, why? Kazuma. Anyway, converse. Today's trial. It was quite a shock early today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up into court and took the stand. He looks too fine to be someone who was just being poisoned. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he's actually a barefaced gas thief as well? Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while it seemed everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful your phrasing, Susato! He didn't poison the bloody bastard! And there's more to this Shamspierre than we yet know, I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspierre certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man that everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he returned to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Which one is that? Hottie? Hottie? Let me see. Oh yes, the Saint Bartholomew's, or Bards of Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which he was taken. And yes, after Soseki-san was Soseki-san stabbed. Yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Wait, what? He didn't. To be careful of your phrasing, Naruto-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we will, though, Soseki-san, an apology. Deductible aims. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. So we know that Soseki-san took a tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he is not the culprit, then obviously. Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea, but if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Shamspierre's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue this scene. We're going. There must be something in Mr. Shamspierre's room that will help us to solve the mystery. Well, naturally Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. Oh, it couldn't hurt us. Have another look around it, I think. Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in a bar with soap. If we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. Kazuma wishes. Why, Kazuma? Why? Kazuma Sogi, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon. Bacon? He saved your bacon in a horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. He died like several episodes before, we're still talking about him. Then after the trial, that's crazy idea he came up with. as a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk. If you curl up small enough, I'm sure no one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Won't you tell me why? To go to these lands so that I can accompany you to the Great Britain. Oh, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. That you're really out to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the culture capital of the words and the city of the forefront of everything. It was. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's right. We'll never put a doubt in that. I suppose though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day what? Oh no. Never mind. Wait, don't we have a diary? Naruhodo-san. Can we read the diary? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. Change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he was so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but yes. I do wonder if his true intention lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then. That's all. Yeah, I agree with that. Kazuma true intentions. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma true intentions? I mean this. The thought! His katana. I never expected to inherit his sword. After Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it in my side, it could, I feel as though, give me courage. Yes, actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. The sword. Karuma? Ah, yeah, it's the name of the sword. Karuma. That's right, it's a prized sword that's been passed down through generation as a Sagi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his sword, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me, I truly believe that. Well, I have a strong feeling it was gonna be used as a weapon. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you will need much compelling. Is that like a gun? That subject. I have a gun! That subject. As a murder weapon. I feel like it's gonna be used as a murder weapon. There's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I see it through at the end with you. With you, my friend. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Well, you let us down. You died! Kazuma, why you had to die like an animal? No, did you mean by something very important that I have to do? I hope that answer to that question will become apparent when we arrive here, but as yet I've not found a single clue. I see. See? I see? Do I? Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? See. Sorry, I have a bit of mess. Sham suit, shirt. Oh, Runa and Susie, hooray, you're back. Yeah, we survived. It appears so. Hello, Iris. You are in fine spirits, as usual. As always, I see. I am. You look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come for a better time. Just made a pot of tea, I said to some cups. No tea, thank you. Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Is the tea? It must be the tea. Oh, him. Aha! The wonders return at last. Where not have you pair of you been? We been caught? For the massage case? That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think of it. Yeah. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We managed to escape without a guilty verdict at least. Really, I will have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day without Reaper again. It's been long too. Is Lord Van Zisk an acquaintance of you, Master Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I ask, but still. Mr. Sholmes. Whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed, that's a sign of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Take a shite? Oh, there. Alright, I'll bite. What's he's up to now? We have to talk? We have to speak, yeah. Take a while. Lord Van Zisk. Oh, okay, whatever. Lord Baron Van Zisk, yes. Is an history so briquet? He has it? Isn't it? The Reaper of the Ballet, once a legendary prosecutor, has fought for summon conviction. That person is doomed. Even he or she is found not guilty by the courts. So later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. By vanish your how exactly? Both wholly under a passing carriage, or drowning into Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set up on a highway, man? Wow! Or burning alive. There are numerous routes to one final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mushert is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by all Van Zisk's own hand. As it happens, that is quite impossible. Oh, why? Well, naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever this incident occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi. Really? Really? And so his reign continued, about 5 years ago. He vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. Whatever. That is until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into the trial at the old ballet. The bitter find of that coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and really did end bitterly end, indeed. Here you are facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor Runa. I don't know if you are just incredibly unlucky, or is incredibly unlikable. Incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. A sense of general loathing of all Japanese people. Ah, you're overthinking. Wait, Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well, as Mr. Sato myself, I felt even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zisk seemed to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed! It's an interesting observation. Well, he noticed it. You know something about it, do you, Mr. Sholmes? It was about 10 years ago that Baron Van Zisk chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. Hailed? No. What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. Hailed? What happened? Hailed? I believe I made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but what? The veil will be lifted of the events of the past in due course, have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Hailed? What do you mean by hailed? I mean, hailed? Like, went through? I don't know. So what is that indescribable? Foul mouth. Most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. Chemical tests can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. Wait, is that tea detector? Oh my. There's some unscrupulous soul manning to stalls along some old no less frequented street. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, prefer their melody-dyed leaves of drop flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So when one is presented with that appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris? Are we gonna use it? Are we gonna test it? At the ready, Helly. Let us add a drop of my candle to this cup of tea. Where do you see what happens? Becomes black. Turn completely black. Cool. And what the foul odor is giving off? Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. Oh, okay. It all appears that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? We throw it. Why dispose of it, naturally? Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Jones. That's why this candle test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. What a waste of a good tea, that's what I'm saying. The point is, we're entering a new era of science, the world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science! Yeah! There are such exciting times, isn't it? To make a lot of more plot twists, CSI series and stuff. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock Sholmes method will be our foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicates what's a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Really? You're gonna ask him? Okay. So your T-test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. Yes it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea of is high or low quality. Okay, not a huge number of cases then. Shitty tea, good tea. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints. I accept in our course as evidence that really we're dragging our heels there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in the field already, and I bought a company of inferior minds. Not what I'm researching. Is skin prints. Skin prints? Skin prints? You mean DNA? A nomenclature of my own design, and this chemical agent that makes this possible. This instantly reveals object touched by whichever person is under investigation. Really? Skin. So it's DNA. Okay, brilliant, Mr. Sholmes. As long as I doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellow, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. If you say so. Buddy? Well, I think we should go back into the scene and if we can uncover any clues. That's the spirit, you know. See you later. Goodbye. Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes, you were thinking you come with us. Hmm? You were? That's interesting. Yes, of course. You say you just a moment ago. The logins. Say we witnessed your forensic talents in action. Oh yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on, lad. I shall be sure to follow you later. In all likelihood, probably, maybe. Well, might. I might. Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye, Sissy. We can move? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the sham. Maybe you can... Reggie? Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Oh, well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene. I'm sure you are aware. I know the score. Oh, yes. Another thing. The soap that ledge outside the window, did you find it? With the tea in it? Yeah, We found it, alright. And there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. It's with the identification section of the yard now, so I'm looking into it. The result should be available later today. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry. Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb Andy in here. You just appeared from nowhere. Like, you already here, Sholmes? Oh, Jesus Christ, that was bloody quick. Are you looking for new clues, Inspector? On Law Van Zisk's order, yeah. Don't come back until you got something for me, he says. Oh dear, poor you. Oh, poor me. Yeah, poor me, because we already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what to he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. Well, at least he's honest. There's so much chips. Mr. Jones, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Well, it's not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Oi, what are you doing here, Shims? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective. One is always under scrutiny, it seems. It's now the time, Mr. Jones. Are you about to show us? Your forensic transaction, as you promised. Can I have a cinematic video? With the greatest of my pleasure, my dear madam. Oh, cinematic? Cinematic. No? No cinematic? We went Splinter Cell so quickly. What's all this? Splinter Cell equipment. I thought they used the same sound effect. Oh, this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Hello, Sholmes, Assessor, a skin print seeker gun. Why there has to be a gun? Months ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. Okay, from the Shamsir cup. Each individual leaves a microscopic secretion of everything he or she touches. As out of those secretions, all I need to produce this refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed by the aid of those goggles. Goggles? Here, try them. Goggles? Goggles? Thank you. There now, the spray of chemical indicator about what will be revealed. Spray. How do I do that exactly? Okay, press space on the area, you enter the knowledge, there's quite like this. Oh, that's a lot of print. What is stuff like that? Well, especially the chemical indicator or pressurized gas is the most efficient way to cover the large area. That was another measure I discovered incidentally while this was development. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. Interesting about the victim movement and night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore! So this should be filled with... No? Nothing? Oh my god, there's so much of it. They moved the box. The painting. Yay! Look at the dancer handprints. He's hiding something here. So there are great men indeed, so much that it's hard to make out the individual print, in fact. Very seems chilled down my spine. It was like leaning against the wall while I admired his picture. It was getting into heavily. Okay, you know what I mean. He was taking it like a champion, basically. Unlikely, I will say, but a dull scene after all. And without wishing to state the obvious, I wouldn't really admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Well, it's very true, Mr. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery then. So it should be here too? Ah, so much prints. Must be full of here. I'm gonna examine this later. You got something here? No. Definitely this. No, you didn't put anything there? Oh, there it is. There it is. Look at this there. I had a feeling there was something here. Yes, interesting. A multitude of these victim handprints. There's something there. There's so many of them on the floor in this one spot. Oh, perhaps we had a bad pull just here. There's nothing obvious that we'll have drive over though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective will do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle, handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's an obvious explanation. I think it's quite obvious. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are interest, I'll say. Let's examine it. Handprints of the floor there, handprints there. Yes, and I think the full warrants close the investigation. I won't be a moment. It won't be. Okay, Sato, jeez. It was like, what is it, Miss Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped. One of them? You mean that one? The secret hiding place. Aha, drugs! Excellent word, Mr. Sato. So what do we have in here? Poison? Drugs? Oi, what are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson! Stand aside, right this minute. It's my job to investigate, yeah? No need, Inspector. You continue to dig in your portion of chips. Well, it's we dig around under the floor here. A fancy thought's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you could make using Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami, but... Tatami? I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. Got me wondering about the wall over there too. Are you curious? So we can all examine it. Oh, I investigate at once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do we explain the handprints? I really can't think why anyone will have touching the wall over in place like that. What? Where? There you are, print for you. A photograph of the handprints of the wall has been entered in the court record. Thank you very much. His invention can make prints too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. So am I. Do you think it's because of the lamp? Well, you don't need both fan, but... Do you think it was, you know, taking it? Like, the full extent of it? You know what I mean? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath the floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now, after all, we're all well acquainted. Inspector Gregson? Really? It's been too long. What it is, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing you're such a good friend. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. Wait, what? A dismayful failure! Yes, I heard. I'd kill to know what was under the floorboard. Alright then, fair is fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose she'll at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. There's one thing I know about this man, is that he blows with the wind as fickle as the weather. Oh, stop making me out as some kind of nut. There were 3 items on the floor there. A newspaper clicking, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now what do you want to know? All of them? Ow. A newspaper clip. Looks like this was a cut of paper about 3 months ago. 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got 6 and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. Maybe the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Nature? Oh my goodness, he committed a capital offense. A man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work into burglars and murder. Said the hoard knocked off was worth about £1,000. The hoard? The hoard? Hoard? A hoard? Treasure, you mean? Treasure? She will lie, be hidden somewhere, and no one knows where. And now he's dead. Now he's dead. The papers love it, of course, £1,000 lost en route to hell. Or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such article will be so carefully placed in? I suppose now you mention it. It does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got assault them back in the yard and see if I can turn anything up. The capital offender article has been yeah. The photographic print. Okay, that's interesting. So this photograph I found looks reasonably recent to me. It looks familiar, right? Yes, you'll appear to have been taken to the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrett, the landlord, of course. Or was the young man on the right, Mr. Garrett's son, perhaps? Could be. Perhaps you can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows the identity of the young fellow. Oh, is that true? Ah, well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information is one of my pastimes. Might expect, if I may be so bold, at this point something out. Pastimes are for one leisure, but this is for work. Oh, there more reason I'm not telling you. Ah, this is major failure. Yes, I heard. Retreat. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself, isn't it? Photographic prints are still a rare treasure in the East End. Imagine Mr. Garrett was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. I guess we're gonna present it to Mr. Garrett. Now the thing box looks interesting, doesn't it? It's empty. I suggest, Inspector, that you open it. If you are to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I already had a look. It's completely empty. I had the feeling. Well, Shamspeare, give us a clue, man! You needed the chance to other world, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, at least you found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air is empty, rather like how I feel inside. Empty. Is there nothing more to this box than I wonder? Neko? Neko-chan? Waga hi! Hi. Hey. Wow. Oh, look! It's a lovely little kitty cat. What was his name? Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it Wagahai? So it was the name you chose for him? No, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. Wagahai? I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Clever cat. Wonderful weather. Wagahai, here's something delicious I bought for you from the Cat's Meat Man. Cat's Meat Man? Cat's Meat Man? Cat meets meat man? I want to spray on the cat now. Hehehe, couldn't be happier now. Look, so we can bring some happiness to this owner too. Go on with that. Should I examine the cat? Examine the cat. Ah, and he's gonna live, isn't it? And that was a cheeky little meow guy. Cheeky? Oh, but he's so adorable. I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. Okay, let's move on, I guess. Welcome to prison! Welcome to prison! Local prison, cell 9. Oh, Mr. Natsume is... so he's... Mr. Natsume, hello! He's back? He's back. He's back. Wait, is back. Where it could be. I am a cat. Yeah, that's the name of the book. Sorry. I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or how luck shows. I don't know about courts of trial, or ballets. I'm a cat. That's what I am. Just a cat. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Yeah, we're not gonna let him. Yeah, trying to? He already has, completely. No. So what is your name then? As yet I have no name. As yet I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo hasn't fully thought of his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. You think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? No. Okay. Ah, hell. Yeah, you're welcome to hell. I am not. I am not a cat. Conkiksho. It worked. It's back in the real world. What's going to become of me? No, don't answer that. It's obvious. My cursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate. Mr. Natsume, no. This morning proceeding court proved that there is still hope. Yes. Like a student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent, encoding my lodgings here, there, everywhere. What he's looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there's some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. Anytime. Anytime. My low life have ever been so moved as I was today. No. Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But it just blocked us out then today, meaning that courtroom was the most moving experience of my life. Logan stood in Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You are too kind. Too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just we deduce. We are analyzing as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea, they won't find a drop of poison in it. That's solemn, sworn, Soseki, certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely, remember. Drinking tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was hot bath for our bellies. And at the time, you were both completely fine. As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspeare then engaged in Romeo and Juliet match. Suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceeding will be how the poison was taken by the victim then. Do you think he got it from the soap? I don't know. Rotten Shamspeare, what have I done to him? I don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently. I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all! Alright. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. Let me know sooner? Let you know what, Mr. Natsume? About the soap, of course. What else? Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend? Of course I am. If I had money, I would have chosen to live an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh yes, you say that because the place is cursed, it is so cheap, didn't you? Exactly. Especially Rome that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place. And is trying to kill me. Capital offender. Oh. Capital offender. May I ask you, local student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soap. Is it? About the capital offender, isn't perhaps this guy? What is this? Is that the spare county that we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room? Oh, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. The convicted killer. And that he was speared behind the coals that afflicts my lodgings. What? He's already taken one young man's life and now he's trying to take the life of another miserable mustache much maligned Japanese man. Is that so? If you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirito. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. The Southern man was arrested about a year ago now, At the time he was hiding out in lodgings in Mr. Carrick's house. What? You live where you do now? That's right. Yes, exactly where I live now. In this very room. Oh my, the room was preciously previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense. But before his sentence could be carried, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started, the curse. There is a curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume. It recalls one death, a few months after the criminal passed away in prison. Uh-huh. The man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The old lodger. He was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Wait, what? Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we are dealing with now. So, that's the convict curse, is it? Yes, well, that was the start of it. Yeah, the convict curse. You have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia, was strangled. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? We found out after I signed the lease. And Mr. Gary came to tell me later I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, like, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlords is, luckily, legal. Lucky for Mr. Gary, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you. It is. At first, just feel I thought I was being watched all the time. Now you talk about having nightmares, didn't you? That's right. That's right, take me with me. Try to suffocate me. That's when I'm struggling to breathe. I wake up. The room is cold as ice. But why is your room so cold? None the winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. For some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into the bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible. The exactly same situation as what led to the previous occupant death. And there's what happened to Mr. Shamsia last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. Agree more than that incident can explain my curse, though. Whatever can be the causal, this strange sibling. Is that malfunction in my Mr. Garib's room? Oh, you're here now, Mr. Garib. Right, bully. Business is for me, you know, getting out and about. Are you not the old ballet by any chance? Naturally fate of my lodgings hanging the balance. And all from all that, not a trial to miss. The fatal was already been dubbed you haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place has accused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. It's all haunted lodging or some such. Ah well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blaze is going on, don't you? Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, I think back to Mr. Natsume under trial just now, days ago. Wait, when Sherlock was here? You were at the old ballet then as well, weren't you? Did you with your wife about what happened? Why Sherlock is here? I don't know. Stop of that breeze on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today? Your lodgings, your gas, leakage. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and felt like a chap of Western corridor, huh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a mania for round fellows of late. Thanks to that bully curse. The convict curse, you mean? The convict curse? Here's the stories, have you? Got the scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and kills kneels. And there was that woman who dropped dead just outside of the street, not to mention acting yesterday. My necks, huh? No, I can't help but to get collie bubbles, can you? When you say the woman who dropped dead outside of the street, do you mean Miss Green? Well, Miss Green who was stabbed by the knife, Mr. Shakespeare, who was poisoned last night. Are both very much alive still. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such logics. But I told you, the fireplace, fascinating history. Why it sounds like a lab of luxury? I'm not sure about that. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. Well, you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames, your glass lamps up here. It never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishap or such like. Think you had your mishap already, sir? That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips. Some fishy fellow from the Far East. Oh, can't you say the same thing? There's no need for that, Mr. Garrett. That's right, that's assuming. He's not that fishy. Isn't reliable peculiar, however. He's right, he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away. Immediately? That's interesting. Yes, that's right, and asked the state agent to find someone that he popped out the very same day. The Chronicles saw Charles so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room background he was keen on so much as the cheap friend, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamsier been lodging under your roof? That failed actor chap? Let's see. Of course! Yes, it's been 3 months now, quite sure of it. Only 3 months? It's quite new here too, then. And to what do we owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrett, if I may ask? Well, it was the Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? They call me to me? Does Selden and Shamsier have some kind of connection, then? The carving chap, Selden, passed away in the clink 3 months ago now. You see, some malady or other? Yes, we seen the report from the newspaper at the time. But it was only 3 days later than the tragedian showed his face, Dr. Fellow. Really? Yes, I remember quite distinctly. This mold is word we inhabit. Painted landlord, hear my request. At a humble Shamspeare, so desires take thy room on the middle floor offer at a will for rent. I was sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. I already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor rooms vacant though. But we can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat my will and do day. The skill must be baffling, oh yes. The room on the middle floor is taken, ground floor or nothing. Very well. We have an occurred. Now do hear it. Welcome to Briar Road. Lo, a Shamspeare dance to celebrate. Now what I heard in court today sounded like the child was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears, with a rent too. In arrears? With a rent too. Yes, the fellow was a bully player, right? Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garrett. We are most grateful. But a way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, but put my crown. Never mortal. What the hell are you doing? Never mortal lodgings in me. What happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. Wish to divulge my own learning on the subject, for I have to turn for literature too, you know. Do you think the victim was trying to poison Natsume, but in the end he poisoned himself? Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then. There is a chance. Oh, I fudged it. Well, anyway. Decent fireplace here, constantly for gas though, but there is nothing better than a gas lamp for reading in bed. Actually, Mr. S.M. mentioned a gas supply to his room keep failing. Oh, yes, that I had the gas company look into it, but they couldn't find a thing wrong. Child must have been imagining things. I don't think he was imagining it. The poor man woke up unable to breathe. I think he was put down to ghosts to work some such event. The place must be haunted. Interesting. So he actually said something to check on it. This is interesting. This guy could ask you to look at his photograph. Is that your own is that your son who is with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shoot. Just for the kicks, really. Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Yes, that's right. So he is the boy that died. The young gentleman who died in the room in the mysterious circumstances. That's what Mr. Masters was waiting for. Oh man, my shade. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room, at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? The mystery. Yes, Duncan Ross, young chaps, was attending at art school, had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms, with a history behind them. History on cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, I was one morning about a month ago now, and I quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps, to see what my lodger are up to at the time. So suddenly I wasn't rather tired to discover that had happened. Smell like gas that alerted me, it was. Oh yes, St. Amos with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officers kicked the door of these hinges. Oh, once we got inside, we all bodily collapsed. Because of the gas? Yes, the room was full of it, no air at all. Stall must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipe were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lottery place all over the house. And even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume said the same thing. The stuff goes out in the night while he's sleeping bad. But that's boldly cursed to come fix his curse. And on my duty as a landlord now. Somehow it's feeling defensive. And that reminds me actually. Yes? Oh, young Duncan, right before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady. Love letter, you mean? Yes, where did I put it now? Oh, here it is. Left it on my desk. If you excuse me. Let me see now. What does it say? My most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that I should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Mr. Sato, I guess it's directed to Miss Green Olivia. Olive? My dear Miss Sato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading with if you excuse me. That solves everything. I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes. 2. No. Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So I have no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. That's going to play on my mind. But really, that idea of Mr. Ross, sweetheart, has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone. Yes, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the interested recipient address is missing, however. There's a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Sholmes, please. I already had to chastise you about this once. Don't make me so start to take down you. I'm dying low to you. I called for Dario Olive Green, yeah, whatever. It was quite obvious. Olive Green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunge into her bag outside his house 5 days ago. The victim with the last case Sasaki was in close for. We were again conscious and only yesterday. It is judge says that her name will come up now. Could it possibly be more coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? I don't know. Reading personal correspondence, you can have these marriages, you see? This is something. Ha. Not really something that we'll laugh about. Anyway, we saw the picture, so yeah. Do we go to the hospital and check on her? Check on her! Hospital. The mouse is still there, interesting. You have a lot of free time, mouse. No, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last. That's a good news, but hopefully... What? What is it? No! Don't drink it! Mr. Green! What was that? Can you just see something behind her back? Oh, one moment! I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The author said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. It's green. What were you just doing? Oh, nothing. Really? I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed me for, that's all. And we're hoping to have another quick chat with you, if it's alright. We don't have anything else to tell. Alright, now you're behaving strangely. Let me see if we can quote something out of here. Out of here? I examined the bottle. Don't kill yourself! It's the bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? It's very bitter. I can stand bitter medicine. After all, it's bitter medicine. I can stand with bitter medicine, but I could be it. Either whether the doctor prescribed the medicine for a number of days, let's take it all at once. Oh no. Well, if you take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear. And it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment. I'm still kicking. It's kind of Miss Green was looking at intently before it, isn't it? Mr. Naruhodo, shouldn't be picking at a young woman private effects. Right, you should have picking for a gentleman effect. I should save picking for gentleman effects only. Just didn't do that either. And you, Mr. Susato, should you pick into a young man's mind either? So she can fucking read my mind. Huh? Anyway, percent. Wait, they didn't give us the letter? Okay, I guess we cannot present the letter. For this, hospital discharge. It's wonderful news that you are going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh, yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat. She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood at all, that's for sure. Okay. I guess we present these. Miss Green, we're hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Ducan Ross. You knew him, don't you? Wait. Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle man fell down when she did. Miss Green, are you alright? I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to startle you like that. No, it's alright. I was expecting it. But how do you know about Ducan? Ducan? Mr. Ross has been writing a letter. When he passed away, the landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you. So I'm gonna make a small prediction. This mouse is gonna drink this bottle, and he's gonna die. small prediction. It was a very personal letter to you. Was at the art school, where I met Ducan a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He then became a professional artist one day. And the two of you become romantically involved. Yes, that's right. You were very much in love. You were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move in a cheaper room to save money for the wedding. That's what he led him to Mr. Garrett. Yeah, he told me. He found the worst. He found the worst, but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, then he died. Well, we're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Trying to be cheap. That's terrible, isn't it? But it's all the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad. I'll start to think that's just her look. Sad? But now I think that she has every reason to feel the universe against her. She's been stabbed. His husband, future's husband, died. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, Mr. Naruhodo! Surely we are not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. Well, Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make you present now next time. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Simon, is this. Why do detectives insist such an ex-post factum modus operandi? Why solve a case after it happened? They'll prevent a case before it happens. That's what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There's a case waiting to happen under our very nose, Mr. Naruhodo. Let's have a disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening. There's nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need to said before. You need only look, or you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Naruto. You can. Okay, I'm just gonna do it then. What is that? That mouse seems to be dead. Look, you noticed there before, did you? You think perhaps he drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle? It was not medicine. But that's the bottle Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think? Ah, I see you come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into places. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before has spilled out on the floor, and the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. Ah! I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained powerful poison. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. I will attend to the mouse presently. Okay. Just YOLO it to the window. Miss Green, we're intending to go to the same way as that rodent. To take your own life. Once we left, you would have put in your lips again, wouldn't you? And take the poison. No! Miss Green, please. Please talk to us. Okay. Anyway, this key is interesting. I think it's a key component. Suicide. A taboo topic, it appears. 10 seconds later, and we would have to arrive at very different scenes here. All probability we will not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything else is more open, I feel like weights have been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Well, with this being an hospital, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I stuck this out when he wasn't not looking. Conspicuously lacks a label, wondering what it contains. I'm afraid I don't really know, but I thought if I drank it, I might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green, thought of such things. Well, they seem clear now that it contains poison. Yes, the poor little mouse is rid of it. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? I shall remove these to my office. I shall remove these to my office, Miss Lee. Think you have no objection? No, none. That's it? That's it? That's it? You're gonna do me dirty like that? That's it? There must be something else. The refusal thought this card must be irrelevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand. It can only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes, maybe very well related to whatever incident Mr. Schomburg's was about to happen. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. The card! Neither the sender's name or address appears to be written in the envelope of the card. Wow, really inconspicuous. It arrived by post at my home day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. Information regarding the death. Of the Gunross. Come to the Slag and Salad in Briar Road at 5 PM on the 17th. Okay. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute. The 7th? Not this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. And 5 PM. It's precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slag and Salad, yes, pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Great. The street of Mr. Gary House, is it not? Does it mean that? Yes, I'm sure you guessed. The day when I was struck in the back by a knife, I was actually on my way to the Slag and Salad. Goodness. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. Sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such painful memories for you. No, it's fine. Miss Green. Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. That is a terrible thing to say. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how all these had made me feel. Still alive and kicking. Leaving Miss Green and Son bothering behind, made our way back to Baker Street with Sean's. Well, it will appear we are reached the end of the investigation. Investigative trials for today. Yes, it's late. And Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use to you in courtroom, do you think? This is about Mr. Sharm's Pierre, Mr. Gary lodging at the convict London. The many facets of this case we are yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling anyway. I can't help wondering about the result of the analysis into Mr. Natsumeti, I mean. Yes, will they have found strychnine in it or not? Well, I've heard that either way. It'll be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Ripa. Oh dear. Yes, Baroque Van 6. And I wish you every success. Of course. I know that I was late to rise this morning. Tomorrow will be a new dawn intended to spring from my bed at crisp power and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come. Indeed, whatever happens I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperates in the morning. Well, I think we've all done all we can. That's the left and remain focused and keep fighting Mr. Tsumiko's until the very end. I kind of figure out the print on the wall now. So, do you remember there was a lantern in the... Sorry. I forgot there was a lantern in here. Like, there was a lantern up here, right? And the lantern is probably the gas. So you basically, this guy was basically trying to kill Mitsume by doing that. Lord of the world most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. But anyway, from the razzle-dazzle down back alley, behind bricking up windows and lonely look, Saki-san had a battle along the heart with loneliness during his many months here. So I felt honor-bound to battle, equally hard for my competitor to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow will be a new dawn for all of us. You try to understand that episode. Yeah, what I was saying, it was probably turning on the lamp, so it was basically just trying to throw gas into the other room to kill him. I feel like there's probably a hole up there somewhere, because you know how density works. Gas go up. I think I assume. I could be also wrong. Anyway, have a lovely day. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely whatever. And see you again very, very soon. Good lovely bye.